Correct. Time for the big boss with the hot sauce. You see, that's me. I am the Geator with the heater, here to be on the record. Up with a single, rock and bop and chip bone. Once again, let me say greetings and salutations to the entire population of this here fantastic nation. You say dance, well then let me take you back to the year 1966 with the fantastic Isley Brothers. And in 1965, the Isley Brothers, they're recording for the people at RCA Victor. But in 1966, Berry Gordy teams them up with Holland Dozier and Holland, and they make the best music in town. It's the Isleys from Cincinnati.
I try hard to hide my hurt inside this old heart of mine. Always keeps me crying. The way you're treating me leaves me incomplete. You're here for the day, gone for the week now. But if you leave me 100 times, 100 times I'll take it back. I'm yours whenever you want me. I'm not too proud to shout it. Tell them all about it, 'cause I love you. This whole heart, darling, is weak for you.
Now this is just the beginning of the best dance sounds in town from 1966. We're going to take a little break. When I come back, I'm going to let you hear the Boogaloo, and then we're going to take you to the year 1961. In the background, the song The Boogaloo. The year is 1965. It's by Tom and Jerry, but more important, it's produced by a young fella by the name of Eddie Thomas. Eddie Thomas, he's the guy who's doing some great things for Curtis Mayfield along with the Impressions. Do you remember when everybody was doing The Boogaloo? It's twine time. Do you remember the twine? You remember the barracuda? Sure you do out there. Let me take you from 1965. How many of you remember the year 1959, a great year? In 1959, there's a corner, the Bronx. The name of the corner is called Belmont Avenue. A couple of kids, they're singing on the corner. They're called the Belmonts. The lead singer, his name is Dion. He leaves them in 1960, and in 1961, song with a co-writer by the name of Ernie Moresco. As a matter of fact, you know what I've got right here? I've got a little phone. It's called the Geator Phonovision. I'm going to see right now if I can hook up with my main man, Dion. Yo, Dion.
Yo, Jerry, how you doing?
My man, I'm doing terrific now that I see you. I tell you, it's a pleasure. You know, the songs that you recorded are absolutely fantastic. And you know, I said to you privately, one of my favorite songs is That's My Desire, or Where or When, which you did with the Belmonts from the In the Still of the Night album. But what happened after that?
This album is what kind of split the Belmonts and I. This was kind of our swan song because it started, the president of the record company at that time, Alan Sussel, loved Rodgers and Hart and Cole Porter, and Where or When was his favorite song. And we kind of dedicated it to him. It was really out of our backyard, Dion, the Belmont's backyard, certainly my backyard. We did the song, it became a hit. And then the Belmonts wanted to pursue that kind of lush, smooth kind of singing, and it was the furthest thing from my mind. That's what split us up, and I went on to do Ruby Baby, The Wanderer, Run Around Sue, and stuff like that.
It's amazing. Talking about Run Around Sue, where did you get the idea to come up with Run Around Sue?
It originated in a schoolyard.
But if it originated in the schoolyard, where did you get the music?
Back in the 50s, a lot of people didn't play instruments, so we would, you know, get a riff going, and I would start singing. And it was very spontaneous, and Run Around Sue was one of those kind of riffs we got going, that hip, hip, bum, the hit, hit, and we kept it going for 45 minutes.
Amazing. Now, but let me ask you a question. Where did this girl Sue come from?
She moved in from Vermont, New York, and didn't know the kind of code of the Italian neighborhood. I talked to her. I was in love with her. And she talked to somebody else. Now, you're not supposed to do that. When you tell all the guys, hey, I'm talking to her. That's my girl. Leave her alone. I just talked to her, you know. I think she asked somebody for directions to the Bronx Zoo, and then I wrote Run Around Sue about her.
I love that. You know, there was a brief period of time, though, in your life, and I remember it when you just disappeared from the recording scene. What happened in the 60s?
The mid-60s were a frustrating time for me. I started using a lot of drugs, alcohol.
Mm-hmm. Well, then what happened with you in the 70s?
The early 70s, I started working folk houses, those intimate folk rooms. And then I got into gospel music. I started having babies. I had 3 daughters.
Wow, that's incredible. You know, Dee, I got to share something with you. I remember the first time that I brought you back to do rock and roll. It had to be maybe around 1972 or 73, and it was a gigantic rock and roll show. But you were absolutely fantastic. I think something must have happened that night. I don't know if do you remember that night?
That concert kind of tied the past, the present. I was doing gospel music, and the future. It just fused me together. And what happened was an amazing thing. I stayed away from singing hit records. Don't ask me why. I don't know. I just was moving on. But what happened is, as time moves on, these records and those hits become more valuable to me. They mean more to me, and it gets me excited when I see what happens in the audience, what happens in the spirit of the people that come to hear those records. It's a wonderful feeling. It turns me on. So what's happening now is I'm singing all these hit records, and I'm not burnt out. To me, they're all like new. They're all brand new again.
Did you ever think when you were a kid doing this that you'd still be doing it today, and the music and you would be as popular as you are?
Had no idea. Had no idea it would last, have an impact like that. No idea. I was just doing what I loved.
Now listen, we love you, my man, but I'll tell you what, we got to take a little break. So for you folks out there, don't go away. We'll be right back with my main man, Dion.
Yo, hi everybody, this is Dion, and you're listening to my main man, the Geator with the heater, the boss with the hot sauce, Jerry Blavat. Yo.
Well, let's do this dance started down in this sea. Now they're doing it on TV, all the way to the Pacific shore. Man, it's the greatest dance you ever saw. Let's get
it. The majestic, the majestic. That's great. Oh, and everybody take a tip from me. They even got my message down in Waikiki. I'll grab your phone and get on the ball. Every time you hear this call, cause there is no more shimmy and no more pop. The kids at Philly, they stop doing the slop. Yeah, everybody, now you're looking just fine. People getting a big ball line. Chicago town. This dance is really getting round again.
My main man, Mr. Dion, and of course, that particular sound has the Del Satins backing him up. Dion, I got to tell you something. It has been an absolute pleasure, my buddy, for me to share these moments with you, and you really have given us great, great pleasure as far as the music for things that you've done, and I just want to thank you, my pal. We love you. You got to come back another time.
Jerry, I just got a lot to be thankful for. I got a wonderful family. Susan and I are doing great, and I'm healthy, and I just look up to heaven and say thank you. I'm a grateful man. And you've been a big inspiration over the years, and a good friend. And it's good to hear from you.
My man, I got to tell you something. It's always a pleasure. Dion, a superstar then and a superstar now. Let's again go back now to the 60s. This time, if you want to dance and prance and make some romance, come on with yours truly, the Geator, the big boss with the big hot sauce. Let me take you to Detroit. Berry Gordy's doing his thing in the 60s. Of course, Berry is hip enough to get some fabulous writers. He hooks up with Holland, Dozer, and Holland. He gets a young lady by the name of Martha Reeves, who is his secretary. He puts her with the Vandellas, and the rest is musical history. I'm sure you remember when you used to do a little bit of the Crossfire. Martha Reeves. It's really interesting because she started out as a secretary. If you have any of the old Marvin Gaye records at home, if you look at the beginning of the record, Hitchhike, you will see it says Martha Reeves and the Vandellas backing up Marvin Gaye. But on her own, this young lady certainly was a superstar. Show on the big bad TDO. We don't want you to touch that dial. Sinawa, because the Geator is definitely going to rock just a little bit more. Yeah. Does the name Walden Robert Casuto ring a bell to you? Well, you're probably saying you don't know that name, huh? How about the name Bobby Darin? Well, Walden is the same Bobby Darin that in 1936 is born in the Bronx. But the music that he gave to the recording industry is now legendary. Here is a man that began with no formal training in music, but yet learned how to write, learned how to play piano, guitar, and drums. In 1955, he leaves a group called the Rinky Dinks and signs a contract with Atlantic Atco Records. In 1957, he's on his way to be a star. In 1958, he records a song called Splish Splash. And then in 1959, records an album called That's All. From that album, a song called Mac the Knife. That same year in 1959, Bobby Darin has a back-to-back hit with a song called Dream Lover. It is my pleasure, courtesy of Todd Darin, to present to you a very rare clip of the great Bobby Darin doing the song that he wrote in 1959 called Dream Lover.
A dream lover will come my way. Girl, I hold you in my arms. Know the magic of her charm. Cause I want a girl to call my own. I wanna dream so I don't have to dream alone. Dream lover, where are you? With a love oh so true, and the hand that I can hold till you're near as I grow old. Cause I want girl to call my own. I wanna dream, I don't have to dream alone. Someday, I don't know how, I hope she'll hear my plea. Some way, I don't know how, she'll bring her love to me. Dream love until day, I'll go to sleep and dream again. That's the only thing to do. All my lover's dreams come true. Cause I want girl to call my own. I wanna dream, I don't have to dream alone. Dream alone until then, I'll go to sleep and dream again. That's the only thing to do till all my lover's dreams come true. Cause I want girl to call my own. I wanna dream, I don't have to dream alone. I beg you don't make me dream alone.
Bobby Darin, at the age of 37, he passes away. The year was 1973, but yet the music lives on. Talking about music, let me take you now to the year 1965. Again, we go to Chicago, Illinois. Curtis Mayfield, the lead singer of The Impressions, gets together again with Eddie Thomas, and in 1965, they produce a song which is without a doubt the best. It's a stomp. It's by the mighty Marvellos, so I present to you the fabulous Marvellos as they do. I do.
I do now, yeah, I do. I love you, my baby, yes, I do. I want you, my baby, yes, I do. I need you, my baby, yeah, I do.
1965. Well, as all good things must come to an end, guess what? So must the show. I'm going to have to leave you, but I've got to remind each and every one of you that it's got to come your way again another day. So until we do it, this is the big boss with the big hot sauce, yours truly, the Geator with the heater, reminding each and every one of you out there, remember, keep on rocking, because you only rock once.